There is something powerful about being young. You have time, energy, curiosity, and the ability to make mistakes without having to carry the weight of decades of wrong decisions. But there is also a danger in being young. You can have so much time that you begin to believe you have unlimited time. You tell yourself, I'll do it later, I'll get serious later, I'll save money later, I'll learn the skill later, I'll take care of myself later. And then one day you look around and realize that later has quietly become your life. If I could sit down with a young person today and give them only one piece of advice, I would say this. Do not simply set goals that make your life look successful from the outside. Set goals that build the person you're going to become. Because your future is not created by one dramatic decision. Your future is built through small decisions repeated until they become your character. A goal is not just something you want to achieve. A goal is something that gives direction to your life. It tells you what deserves your attention and what does not. It helps you say no to distractions because you know what you're saying yes to. And when you're young, your greatest advantage is not money, it is not connections, it is not experience. Your greatest advantage is that you still have enormous room to grow. So if you're young, or if you're simply at a stage in life where you know you need to rebuild yourself, there are 7 goals you should seriously consider setting. The first goal is to become exceptionally good at something valuable. Do not make your goal simply to get a job. Jobs change, industries change, technology changes, companies disappear, but valuable skills can travel with you. Learn how to communicate, learn how to sell, learn how to write, learn how to lead, learn how to manage money, learn how to solve problems, learn how to use technology, learn how to negotiate, learn how to listen, learn how to think clearly when everybody else is reacting emotionally. Pick something valuable and become difficult to replace. You do not need to know exactly what you will do for the rest of your life. Very few people do, but you can decide that whatever you choose, you're going to take the craft seriously. There is a difference between doing something and mastering something. Anybody can spend 3 years doing a job. The question is, after 3 years, are you better than when you started? That is the goal. Do not chase 10 different things because you're afraid to commit to one. Give yourself enough time to become competent. Then give yourself more time to become excellent. When you become good at something useful, opportunities begin to notice you. People say they want more opportunities, but often what they really need is more preparation. Opportunity is not always something you find. Sometimes it is something you become ready for. The second goal is to build financial discipline before you desperately need money. You do not have to become wealthy at 20. You do not have to drive an expensive car. You do not have to prove anything to anybody, but you should learn how money works. That is a goal worth setting early. Learn to earn, learn to save, learn to invest, learn to distinguish between something you want and something you actually need. Learn how debt works, learn how interest works, learn what happens when you spend every dollar you make. Because if you do not learn to manage money when you have little, having more will not automatically make you financially responsible. Money amplifies habits. If you are careless with a small amount, you may become careless with a large amount. If you learn discipline with a small income, that discipline can become extremely valuable as your income grows. Start small, save something consistently. Even if it is not impressive, the point is not the amount at first. The point is teaching yourself that you do not have to consume everything you earn. There's tremendous confidence that comes from knowing you have something set aside. You stop making every decision from desperation. And that is one of the greatest financial goals you can have when you're young. Build enough discipline that money becomes a tool rather than a source of constant fear. The third goal is to build a strong body and a disciplined mind. Your body is the vehicle that carries every ambition you have. You can have brilliant ideas, enormous dreams, and beautiful plans. But if you constantly feel exhausted, undisciplined, and physically neglected, everything becomes harder. You do not need to become obsessed with appearance. You need to become responsible for your physical condition. Exercise, walk, sleep properly, eat reasonably, drink water, take care of yourself, and understand something deeper. Physical discipline teaches mental discipline. There will be days when you do not feel like exercising. There will be mornings when you want to stay in bed. There will be moments when quitting feels easier. Those moments are not necessarily interruptions to your development. They are part of it. Every time you keep a promise you made to yourself, you strengthen your relationship with yourself. That matters, because eventually you have to trust yourself. You need to be able to say, if I decide to do something, I will make an honest effort to follow through. That confidence cannot be purchased. It is earned. And while you're developing your body, develop your mind. Read books, study people, learn history, learn psychology, learn communication, Learn from people who have succeeded and from people who have failed. Do not let your entire education end when you leave school. Formal education can give you a foundation. Self-education can continue building the house. The fourth goal is to become independent in your thinking. This may be one of the most important goals you can set. The world is full of people who will tell you what to believe, what to buy, what to want, who to admire, what to fear, and what kind of life you should live. If you're not careful, you can spend your entire life living according to someone else's expectations. Think for yourself. That does not mean rejecting everybody's advice. It means learning how to evaluate advice. Listen carefully. Question intelligently. Observe results. If someone gives you advice, ask yourself, has this person built the kind of life I want? That simple question can save you years. Do not let social media become your definition of success. Do not compare your beginning with somebody else's highlight reel. Do not buy things simply because other people have them. Do not choose a career only because people think it sounds impressive. Do not stay in a situation just because everybody else says you should. You have to develop the courage to make your own decisions. And sometimes thinking for yourself means admitting that you were wrong. That is not weakness. That is maturity. A mature person does not need to win every argument. A mature person wants to understand what is true. The fifth goal is to build meaningful relationships. When you're young, it is easy to underestimate the importance of the people around you. You may think success is about money, career, status, or achievement, but eventually you discover that a life filled with achievements can still feel empty if you have nobody meaningful to share it with. Choose your friends carefully. Your environment matters. Spend time around people who challenge you to grow rather than people who constantly encourage your worst habits. Find people who are honest with you. Find people who celebrate your progress without secretly competing with you. Find people who can tell you the truth when you're making a mistake, and become that kind of person for somebody else. Do not build relationships only when you need something. Learn to give, learn to listen, learn to apologize, learn to keep your word, learn to appreciate people while they are still in your life. You will discover that one of the richest forms of wealth is having people who trust you. And remember, relationships are not built through grand gestures alone. They are built through ordinary moments. A phone call, a conversation, showing up, keeping a promise, remembering something important, being present. These small things compound too. The sixth goal is to become comfortable with discomfort. This is where many people lose their future. They become addicted to comfort. If something is difficult, they stop. If someone criticizes them, they quit. If progress is slow, they lose interest. If they fail once, they decide they are not capable. But life does not reward you simply because something is difficult. You have to become the kind of person who can remain committed while difficulty is present. Set goals that stretch you. Learn something that makes you feel stupid at first. Have conversations that require courage. Take responsibility for your mistakes. Try something where failure is possible, because you are not trying to create a life without failure. You are trying to become someone who knows what to do when failure arrives. And failure will arrive. You will make the wrong decision. You will trust the wrong person. You will lose money. You will miss an opportunity. You will have plans that do not work. You will experience rejection. You will have days when you question yourself. Do not make the mistake of thinking these moments mean your life is over. Sometimes failure is simply information. It tells you what needs to change. The goal is not to avoid every setback. The goal is to learn faster. The seventh goal is to create a life that gives you freedom and purpose. This is bigger than a career goal. It is bigger than a financial goal. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life would make me proud when I look back? What do I want my days to feel like? Who do I want to help? What do I want to contribute? What do I want people to remember about the way I treated them? Because success without purpose can become another form of emptiness. You can reach the top of a ladder and discover that you placed it against the wrong wall. So do not wait until you are 40, 50, or 60 to ask yourself what matters. Ask. Now, your purpose may change as you grow. That is okay. You do not need to know your entire life story. You only need enough direction to take the next right step. And here's something important. Do not turn these 7 goals into another reason to feel behind. You are not behind. There is no universal schedule for life. Some people discover their direction at 18. Others discover it at 30. Some rebuild their lives at 40. Some begin again at 60. The important thing is not when you start. The important thing is that you start. If you are young, use your youth wisely. Do not waste your best years trying to convince strangers that you are successful. Build quietly, learn quietly, save quietly, exercise quietly, read quietly, practice quietly, improve quietly. You do not need applause for every step. There is a season for preparation that nobody sees, and preparation can look boring. It can look like waking up and doing the same useful thing again. It can look like studying while your friends are distracted. It can look like saving money instead of spending it. It can look like saying no when everybody else says yes. It can look like walking away from people who are taking you in the wrong direction. It can look like starting over. But one day, the results of those quiet decisions become visible. People may call it luck. They may call it talent. They may say you were in the right place at the right time. But you will know. You will remember all the mornings nobody saw. You will remember the failures. You will remember the sacrifices. You will remember the moments when quitting would have been easier. And that is why goals matter. Goals give your effort a destination. They give your discipline a reason. They turn vague hope into deliberate action. So if you're young, do not ask only, what can I get? Ask, what can I become? Do not ask only, how much money can I make? Ask, what valuable skills can I develop? Do not ask only, how can I look successful? Ask, how can I become successful in a way that lasts? Set the goal to become valuable. Set the goal to become financially disciplined. Set the goal to become physically and mentally strong. Set the goal to think independently. Set the goal to build meaningful relationships. Set the goal to become comfortable with discomfort. And set the goal to build a life that gives you both freedom and purpose. You do not have to accomplish everything this year. You simply have to stop wasting this year. Take one goal and begin. Read one book. Save your first amount of money. Take your first serious workout. Learn your first valuable skill. Make one important connection. Have one difficult conversation. Take one courageous step. Then tomorrow, take another. Because your life is not changed by what you intend to do someday. It is changed by what you repeatedly do today. And perhaps the greatest lesson is this. Your future self is being created right now. Every habit is a vote. Every decision is a direction. Every hour is an investment. Every person you spend time with influences the person you become. So be careful what you practice. Be careful what you tolerate. Be careful what you consume. Be careful what you believe. And most importantly, be careful what you repeatedly tell yourself. If you keep telling yourself that you're incapable, eventually you will start behaving as though it is true. But if you begin telling yourself, I can learn, I can improve, I can become disciplined, I can make better decisions, I can start again, then you begin creating a different future. You do not need to have everything figured out. You need direction. You need discipline. You need patience. And you need the willingness to keep going when the excitement disappears. That is what separates a dream from a life. So start where you are. Use what you have. Learn what you do not know. Improve what you can improve. And give yourself permission to become someone you have never been before. Because the greatest opportunity of being young is not that you have more years. It is that you have more time to compound good decisions. And if you use that time wisely, years from now, you may look back at this moment and realize something extraordinary. Your life did not change in one giant moment. It changed because one day you decided to take your future seriously. Then you did it again the next day, and the next, and the next. Until eventually the person you hoped you could become became the person you actually were.